Hello everyone and welcome to this week's vlog from ECMP. I'm Catherine Harmer, I'm the Treasurer for ECMP. I'm also Professor of Cognitive Neuroscience at the University of Oxford, Department of Psychiatry. But despite being the Treasurer, I'm not going to give you any financial advice today. Instead, I'm going to talk a bit about some of our work looking at behavioural activation during this time of the COVID-19 pandemic. So what does behavioural activation mean and how can we use it to improve our own well-being? So I'm a working mother with 3 children, so I already feel like I'm juggling quite a lot of different roles at the moment. And sometimes I read an article in a newspaper following the life of someone famous, and it tells me about their day and just makes me feel even more exhausted. So let me reassure you that I don't get up at 4 o'clock in the morning to make my own muesli before running 10k and setting up a productive day of homeworking and of homeschooling. I don't simultaneously cook nutritional meals and run a perfectly organised and clean house. To be honest, I'm lucky if I manage any of this in a typical day. Instead, a good piece of advice that someone once told me is to break down your goals into smaller sub-goals and also to give yourself lots of praise and reinforcement for the things that you have achieved in that day. We recently performed an online study to find out the kinds of things that people do to increase resilience during this COVID-19 pandemic. In this study, we not only asked people how they were feeling, but we also did some online tasks to measure how they were dealing with emotional information. In particular, we showed different types of facial expression and asked people to interpret this. We know that when people are depressed, they're more likely to pick up on negative facial expressions in this kind of test. So this can provide us with a clue as to the underlying mental state of the individuals taking part in our study. We found a range of things which increased risk for depression, such as being isolated, being a key worker, or being at high risk of an infection. But we also found some things which were associated with lower vulnerability to depression, to resilience, if you like. In particular, doing around 30 minutes of exercise every day and also having high levels of behavioural activation. So behavioural activation refers to the level to which you engage in reinforcing or rewarding activities, the use of helpful routines, and also reducing avoidance of things which may keep any problems going. So participants in our study endorsed statements such as, I structured my day's activity, I saw friends remotely, I did something that was hard to do that was worth it. So how can we use this in our daily life during lockdown? Here are a few tips demonstrated by members of my team and also my children. Set your alarm and make a start on the day at around the same time every day. This helps keep your circadian rhythm in check and allows your body to predict when it's going to sleep and when it should be awake. Build exercise into your day. A walk outside or going on a cycle ride can improve our well-being, and this was really clear in our research study. Make sure you keep in contact with friends and family. Organise remote catch-ups, quizzes, debates, or we've even had some success with online dinner parties. Try to do activities that you really enjoy and give you pleasure. It could be cooking, yoga, reading, having a long bath, or doing an art project. If there's something you're avoiding because it's difficult or makes you feel more anxious, try and tackle it bit by bit. You don't need to do everything all at once. And most important, be kind to yourself, give yourself a pat on the back, and don't beat yourself up if it doesn't go to plan. Sometimes it can seem overwhelming to do all of this at once, but goals can be broken down to sub-goals and gradually worked on. If you like cooking, start by reading some new recipes. If you like running, start by going outside for a walk. Or if you like running 10k before work and making your own muesli, then that's fine too. We're now starting a study to look at the effects of remote therapy based on these kinds of principles, particularly in those who are experiencing symptoms of depression. And we hope that this study will tell us more about how these kinds of interventions are working and what we can all do perhaps to increase our resilience during this stressful time. And so that's the end of this mini blog. As the YouTubers say, please like, click and subscribe and comment below. Thank you for watching.